1999 Toyota GT1 racing car in VR. Hello there everybody and welcome to OpenFed Gaming. I am the OpenFed. Today we're driving a 1999 Toyota GT1 in a World Touring Car 900 race. We're racing at the Trial Mountain Circuit. We're doing 10 laps and we start at 20th of 20 cars with a rolling start. Now when we're doing 10 laps, I'm pretty sure that not a car on the track is going to be able to do all 10 on one tank full of fuel. So the very first thing I always like to try and remind myself is you know, while you're going around the first lap, familiarize yourself a little bit with the track. Now, I don't have a problem with that. This Trial Mountain Circuit track is one of my top 3 favorite tracks, so I know the track quite well. I've driven it quite a bit. And I always try to remind myself to is just take another look at where the pit entrance is. And always take a look at where the pit exit is too. I mean, when you come out of the pit, it's nice to know if you can just hammer down if there's a straight section when you come out or if there's a couple of turns right away. Because if you come out of the pits and there's a turn and you hammer down, you're going to be overshooting the very first corner that comes and you'll run right off the track. Now we're coming up here, finishing our first lap, and if you look at the left-hand side as we come around this corner, you'll see a pit line painted on the road, and the entrance is right there to the left. So as we're coming around this corner here, and another little tight turn, and we're along the home straight stretch again. And just up ahead on the left-hand side is where you'll be coming out when you finished fueling up and getting new tires, right about over here. So you got a little bit of straight section to go before you get to the first corner right here. So you can hammer down pretty good and just get it going, and then slow down a little bit for some of these corners here. Anyhow, that's lap number 1. Now the OpenFed always has a tough time trying to count the laps and the cars at the same time, and I've already forgotten how many cars we've passed. I know it wasn't a lot. Now the lap count, we know we're in lap number 2, and that's usually a little bit easier to remember. However, in this particular car, if you look on the green screen to the left-hand side, in the top right-hand corner of that little rectangular green screen is the number 2. That's your lap count. So now, there's no excuses. We know that when that says 5 and we come around to the entrance to the pits, we gotta go off. Now, we're not sure exactly how many laps we can do with a tank. We can probably do 6, 7, or 8, but I know we can do 5 for sure, but I don't know how long the tires will last. And that's why when you get down to very little tire wear, your car starts slipping and spinning, especially in turns when you go just a little bit too fast. So for optimal tire tread, I think I'm gonna change them halfway through the race, just in case they get worn down a little bit too fast in the first 5 laps. I don't want to be caught on the track in lap number 7 with bald tires. Now, having said that, we'll go in after lap number 5. But having said that, we won't know what position we're in even if we were counting the cars, because once we go in for our pit stop, we'll be able to see what position we're in, we'll be able to see our tire wear, our fuel consumption, and all the good stuff like that, because the display will be on. Now, while we're driving in VR, I've turned the display off because the immersion is a lot smoother, a lot more realistic without the display. But there again, you won't know what your position or any of the information is. So, having said that, when we go in after 5 laps, there's other cars on the track that have not gone in for fuel yet and will be ahead of you. But sooner or later, they will have to go in for fuel. When they do go in and you pass them while they're in the pit stop, you'll move up in position, but you won't know it because you have no display. So we won't know where we're gonna end up until the very final checkered flag and when the race is done. Just keep that in mind. So in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to race as hard as we can, but we're going to be very aware of the turns and the corners. See, we can step on it and then give it a little bit of brake here, shoot a little bit harder because these corners are fairly easy, then we brake here and then shoot down this little hill again. When you've driven this track a few times, you really get to know where you should be braking just before you get to the turn. There's one particular corner that the OpenFed always, he usually misses it. I come in a little bit too hot and then I start braking too late and I end up taking the, I don't overshoot the corner, I keep it on the track, but I end up taking the corner a little bit too wide, which causes you time, seconds, and if it's a tight race, it could mean the difference between winning and losing. I'll point out the corner when we get to it, but I think you'll be able to tell. These corners are real nice if you really cut them to the edge, to the, you know, you can zip through them fairly good. You don't have to turn your wheel too much. And then as we come out of the tunnel, this corner right ahead of us, this is the one I always overshoot. Well, I did pretty good there. Got that one pretty good. Maybe I'm getting a little bit better, but that's my worst corner on this track. For the rest, I think I do okay, and I keep up pretty good. Now we're in our fourth lap, and even though these laps, they take quite a while to do, as you can tell, it hasn't been very long, and we're almost done our fourth lap, so we're not far away from halfway through the race already. Now this here particular section through the tunnels too is a really good section to pass cars. Now, I know the cars are spread out pretty good across the track, and when there's 19 of them that you got to catch, it's touch and go whether you're going to be able to get them all before all the 10 laps are raced. But as we're coming around the corner here, we're going to be into our final lap fairly quickly here before fueling up. I think this is just an absolutely gorgeous race. I was initially going to race this with a Bugatti, and beautiful car, beautiful car. Drives like a dream. And this here particular car, the 99 Toyota GT1, was recommended by Gran Turismo to be used in this race. So I thought, okay, we'll give it a shot and see what happens. And it drives like a dream. It hugs the road, takes the corners real nice, and it's just a fantastic car to drive, especially in VR. It's like you're right there in the race car, boy, I tell you. It doesn't get any better than this. As we're turning the corner here, trying to catch up to the next batch, that every time when you pass somebody, the only thing you can do is go as hard as you can until you see another car. For me, having a car in front of me is the best way for me to drive, because it pushes me to catch the guy in front of me, and it doesn't put me in the front driving recklessly because I'm going too fast, because I don't know how fast I should go to keep the lead. So I'm better off being the chase car, but sooner or later you do have to pass the leading cars, the pace setters, I guess. I love that part here. You take the corner nice and tight, slow her down a little bit, and then hammer back down. When you've come completely out of the turn, if you throttle up before you come out of the turn, your back end will spin around. So be careful of that. Make sure you're fully out of the turn. Now we're going to come off here, and we're going to stay to the left so that we can get into the pit stop here. Now I just ripped into it, but you're not really supposed to do that. Now when you look at my tires on the left-hand side, they're 3/4 worn, so it's probably a good thing we came in for fuel too. Now we came off the track in 5th place. Okay, so keep that in mind. We used up almost all of the fuel. We got a little bit over a quarter of a tank left, I suppose, or a little bit under, sorry. Then we drop into number 6, and here we are. Put some clean tires back on with lots of tread. Fuel it up, boys. Let's go. It's time to go. Now we're number 7, and looks like we're going to keep number 7. looks like we came out number 7. So we got 6 cars in front of us. But there again, like I said earlier on in the video, any one of those 6 cars, if they still got to go into the pit for fuel, I could be passing when I go by them within the next few laps. We don't know. So all we can do is keep going hard and pass whoever we catch up to in front of us, and continue doing that until the last 5 laps are done. Now, like I said, there's a couple of places that are just really fantastic for passing on this track. This is the best one, my favorite. I love this tunnel. It's great to rip through here. Just let it go. Open it wide up. And if you're close enough to somebody, you can always have the opportunity either to pass them there or to catch up to them, so you can pass them up ahead here. There's another couple of sections that are really good. Not so much through here because the corners and, you know, everybody speeds up, slows down, so you really can't pass along here. Sometimes if you're close enough behind somebody, you can rip by them right here down this hill because they slow down for this corner here. And another good place to pass would be right here. Just start ripping until you, just before you get to that corner, because there again, you slow down for the corners a lot more than you actually need to. So if you wait a little bit longer than your opponents, you will be able to pass them there. But there's no need, because here's another long straight section. So when there's a couple of nice straight sections on the track like that, I tend to stay behind the cars when they're ripping through these back and forth roads, these sections, because there's no need to pass them here and drive chaotic if you got the straight sections where you can get them. So here we're just gonna follow them and stay with them. Don't let him get away though, because if he gets away, that means he's driving faster than everybody else, and if that's happening, then we want to stay with him. And we just follow until we get to that tunnel again. Not this short little tunnel right here, but the long one. Boy, that was quick. It felt like we were just in this tunnel. And then once you get fully out of the turn, you can hammer down, and we'll get one for sure. We might even get the second one. There again, you know, 7 cars in front of you, you don't know which ones they are. For all you know, that last car that we passed could have been car number 20, and he's been passed by a lot of other cars. You don't know. So, which is, I wish that there was a way that they could fix that so you would know exactly what position you're in. There's a few vehicles in the game that tell you not only the lap that you're in, but also the position with some of the VGT cars. Not these older racing cars. Anyhow, we'll take it as it comes. It's part of the game, and that's the way we're going to play. And we are finishing lap number 7. And that's around the corner here. It looks like the sun is starting to go down. We might even be driving in a little bit of darkness in the last lap, maybe. You know, let's hope we can get it done before it gets too dark. I saw another car way up ahead there. He's gone. He's quite. Oh, there he is. He's just going into the tunnel. Now, when you see a guy that far ahead, you're gonna take your time and start catching up to him. And sooner or later, you'll be right behind him. And hopefully, we can get behind him by the time we get to the tunnel, and then we can pass him in the tunnel. Because otherwise we got to follow him again to the grandstand. We're just gonna, we should have enough time left if he didn't get away too far. No, he's close enough. Okay, let's step on, boys. He is a little bit too far. He's going pretty good, but not fast enough to escape the Opafed. Get in front of him too. This corner nice and tight. There we go. Another lap almost done. here. I don't know if there's any more cars on the track that are ahead of us in position. We could be in number one spot right now. If we're not, no, there's another car there. I would have to believe with another 2 laps left to go that he would be in front of us. We would not have gotten to first place yet but we're getting close. You see there's a lot less traffic on the track, so they must all be behind us. Now we're going to try and catch up to this guy here, and every time when you're at this section you let it rip, try and catch up to him by the time you get to the tunnel, and then you can pass him in the tunnel. That's the plan. Now this is the 9th lap. Only one more after this and we're done. And we know we have the fuel, but the tires we now know too that in the 4th and 5th lap before we changed them would have been pretty worn down. Especially the 5th lap, which will be 10th lap now for these tires. So when you know that your tires get quite worn out in 5 laps, when you do it for the 2nd time, you make sure that on the 10th lap you drive a little bit slower, take the corners a little bit easier, don't put as much pressure on them because you don't want to accidentally spin out. Because at this speed, in this race, if you spin out by the time, and if you go right off the track, it's even worse, but by the time you get turned around and or going again, that guy that I just passed, he'll be by you and long gone, and you won't be able to catch him in that last lap. So we have to make sure that we take the tire wear into consideration in our driving habits in that very last lap. Usually in the last 2, but the last one is the most important. And that one's coming up right here. Now, there again, like I said, I don't know if that car that we passed was number 1 or if there's any more. Does it look like there's a car way up there? No, yeah, there is. There's a car there. Now, like I said, we're in the last lap. That could be car number 1. Could be car number 20. We don't know. So now you're going to drive like a demon to try and catch this guy. But you got to remember, your tires are worn, and you don't know if this guy, if you're chasing to catch car number 20. So if we do it safely, took that corner a little bit wide, like I said. If we try to do it a little safely and make sure that we will hammer down when we get to the tunnel here and hopefully get by him here, because if he's car number 1, you don't want to hang back. Look, he's quite a ways ahead. We might not catch up to him. We might not catch up to him. He looked like he was out of reach. Oh, there's 2 there. Well, no, maybe we will. We're getting close enough to him but there's not a lot of places to pass. And there's not a lot of time left. This lap is almost done. Absolutely fantastic race. Well, we got up. Oh, we're going to get up beside him. Oh, we're going to get him too. Oh, just at the last second. Absolutely awesome. We got one more car left in front of us. Oh, but he's going into the pit stop. That means we're going to be in front. What a fantastic race. I just love this one. Hope you enjoyed the video and hope to see you back here again real soon. Until then, you've been driving in a 1999 Toyota GT1 with me, the Opafet.